This is Gucci Turban. That's Asif. I'm Nimesh. This is the only podcast with the both of us. That's how we're starting this. Welcome back. We've been gone for 4 years. Nothing's really changed. We've both gained 4 years in age. And now that I'm off the road, we needed something to do.
I'm wiser, I feel like.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm pretty... I put some things together.
Uh-huh. You got a job.
I have a job now. I have gainful employment, which I will lose probably because of this podcast.
This needs to take off and replace Asif's salary. Good luck. Support the Patreon, please.
I'm definitely getting fired. I'm definitely getting fired.
We'll just Patreon everything that you say about and all the other evil.
All great guys.
Yeah.
All really good, moral, kind, good looking.
All right. Did you see Laura Loomer?
I did.
Laura Loomer. If you're unaware, look her up. She looks like Jigsaw. She's banging Trump, allegedly. Yeah, I say allegedly because I think it's a crime. If it's a crime, you got to say allegedly. It's not a crime to bang Donald Trump, but it should be. But
it's violating one of the 10 commandments.
Oh, yes. But
he's violated a bunch of those.
He's not a Christian, man. But she is a right-wing activist. I don't know what you call them. They don't really do anything except go on Twitter and say racist things. I don't know how you become successful in that world. Like how does she make money? I don't know. But either way, she said that if Kamala Harris wins the White House will smell like curry, and that they'll turn it into a call center.
Yeah, she's going to take calls from the White House will take calls like they're from a call center or something like that.
This is good old fashioned racism. I like that. You know,
I don't understand it.
What?
Like, I just don't like. It's so cartoonishly racist.
Yeah.
That, like, you know, why?
Because that's the lowest common racism that you could put about an Indian woman running the White House. It's going to smell like curry and it'll be a call center, which is the level of racist intellect that she speaks to. I know good racists. Like, I know some bona fide certified racists who could cut you real deep and be like, oh man, that's a perplexing racist dynamic thought. You know, she was like, the White House will turn into a CPA level accounting firm that helps you hide all your cash flows. I'm like, oh, okay, that's nice. That's a good racist dig at what Indian people do. But call center, it smells like curry is fantastic, first of all. I don't know if you ever had curry before. Maybe you all should try it and your food wouldn't be so goddamn bland. I know in the Midwest where a lot of people are based, these racists are based, the Indian food's pretty bad, but
I think it's still pretty good out there.
I mean,
it's nothing wrong with
it's better than
the
Cracker
place
Barrel.
smelling like curry. I think that's totally fine. You got a joke about that.
What is it? I don't remember it. Let's cut to it right here. We'll find it.
Hey, you.
Go eat some curry.
Go eat some curry. Yeah.
Why wouldn't I do that?
It's fine.
Yeah, it's delicious. I don't know if you've had it. Maybe that's why people are so mad, that their food is bad. They're just all hangry. Anyway, Laura Loomer banging Trump. I support it fully. Why not, man? He's going out. He's going out in a blaze of glory.
See, I didn't really know that Indian people. I'm not in the streets anymore, right? So I don't know to what level Indian people claim Kamala Harris. Like what depth of support that she has. Like, is it just like Tamil people are really into it, like into her because that's their direct, regional? Is it all Indian people? I feel like there's a lot of Indian Republicans too that definitely don't claim her at all.
It's definitely not all Indian people. I did this. I don't know if you ever had curry before. Maybe you all should try it and your food wouldn't be so goddamn bland. I know in the Midwest where a lot of people are based, these racists are based, the Midwest. I know some bona fide certified racists who could cut you real deep and be like, oh man, that's a perplexing racist dynamic thought. You know, corporate event for a group of rich ass Indians in DC like last week, 2 weeks ago, and they told me not to do anything political, and that usually says, okay, I'm definitely going to do something political. But I buried it so that they didn't get too mad. I did it after I did a bunch of other stuff that crushed. And, I said that, it's going to be interesting if Kamala wins because I really want her to win just so like foreign dignitaries will have to like touch her feet when they come into the White House. And afterwards, like these 4 like rich ass dudes, older 60, probably 70-year-old Indian guys. They're all loaded like on Johnny Walker deep. And they said, they said, you really think that, Indian expletive for a black woman is going to win? And I was like, what? I'm eating kanti roll, like shoving chicken down my face. So I'm just like, I can't like, and they're like giggling to each other as the Rolex is like flash in my face. And then they made a joke to each other like, yeah, well, she's getting investigated. If expletive wins, they always get investigated. And I'm just like, oh, okay. They're still mad racist. That you can't shake that out of like 70-year-old Indian guys. And also, there's so much cognitive dissonance because their guy has been convicted of crime, but it's like the crime they agree with, What was it, like tax evasion? I forget what it was exactly that he got his 34 counts of guilty for. What was it?
I think it's for tax evasion.
What was Donald Trump? Whatever the fuck it was. It was something,
whatever New York got him for.
Yeah, whatever it was something that all the Indians are like, yeah, we...
Also meddling with using campaign money.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if he got caught with that yet, but whatever it is, those Indians are still about Trump. And I said on stage, I was like, if you're Indian and you're about Trump, don't try to hide behind Hindus for Trump. Don't try to hide behind some kind of bullshit like you align with his ideology about things. You just like not paying taxes.
Yeah, they're all single issue voters, yeah.
They're just single issue. We don't like paying taxes. And I have cousins that are the same way. I'm just like, what is wrong with y'all? Like, I understand you're so rich that you can isolate yourself from all the other stuff all the negative stuff that a Trump presidency would bring. But do you not care about people? And they're like, nah. It's just like, which, because of my cousins, I'm like, all right, that's cool. Because, less taxes means more Porsches.
Sure.
For me to drive when I want to drive their cars. But still, I'm just like, ugh. And I think that's a huge majority. Not a huge majority. A large portion of older rich Indian people and next generation rich Indian people. Doctors who are pro Trump and all the privatization of healthcare, further privatization of healthcare that will bring. Another cousin, super smart, just is super capitalist and just believes that capitalism at the end of the day is the greatest economic engine and that any policy that veers towards socialism and a social safety net is net negative for America. And I'm just like, you understand that Indians, when they came here, we made it because of a lot of those social safety nets and that we are huge beneficiaries of those safety nets. But that knowledge is lost with the Indian people. And I know there's going to be a lot of Ramaswamis listening, like, oh, fuck you, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, all right, bro, I'll punch you in your face. I resort to violence, dude. Talk shit. See me in the streets. I see so many Indian guys in the streets who would recognize me, who say what up, and then they may have like Ramaswami ass thoughts. They won't say shit in the streets because they will get slapped in the face. What are you gonna do when someone who has nothing to lose slaps you in the face? I don't have a job. All right. I'll fuck you up, dude.
I haven't met a lot of I've met a few of these like Ramaswamy type Indian kids in my life, but they're always like, they're never like in groups, they're isolated, It'll be just like a one guy, and you're like, and then it'll be his turn to talk, and you're like, what the fuck, man? Like, what did you just say?
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, and there's not a coalition of them. There's just a bunch of tokens. But then the uncle set is interesting because every immigrant dad, I feel like, is a single issue voter that doesn't really give a shit about society. And they got theirs because they're already wealthy. So why, like, they really just don't give a fuck. There's like no value to try to convert these people to any other type of thing. Like, they just don't care.
Right. I'll play devil's advocate where I remember when I was 16 and I went to one of these, not the summer camp that we met at, but the one afterwards. I went to Johns Hopkins summer camp. Shout out to Hopkins and Columbia and all the other Ivy League and like upper echelon schools running these summer programs as scams. They are just scams because they make people think they're going to get into that school, but they don't. They don't. It's just a breeding ground for like CEOs to like bang and shit. Future CEOs, kids to just bang and shit. They make Indian parents shell out like $5,000, hard earned $5,000. Like it's a lot now. It was a lot for my parents to be like, all right, we'll put this $5,000 up and hopefully it'll help you get into school. But when I was in the Johns Hopkins one, I remember having the mentality of, I got into this argument with someone who was on the more socialist side of the conversation of just like, yeah, like affirmative action, we need that, we need, better programs for public education, all that. And I was like, well, my parents came here with nothing and they sent me to school and they made it. Why can't everyone else? And I was too ignorant of the fact that we have a survivor complex where we don't see all the people that failed. We only see the people that succeeded, and we succeeded because of the things that we have. Therefore, everyone else should be able to succeed. But it's like, when the survivorship bias, the who was the guy? I forget his name, but there was some statistician when the planes are coming back from World War II, they had all the holes in the engines. They're like, what parts of the plane should we put the armor plates on? And a lot of the military was like, we just got to put armor plates on the places where all the holes are. But no, you got to put plates on where there aren't any holes because the planes that got shot there didn't make it back.
Right.
So you have that survivorship bias. It's the same thing with us, but I didn't know that then. I didn't have that mentality back then. But now that I see it, it's like, oh yeah, all these other people who haven't made it, they need the help to undo all the stuff that's been done to them economically. And if you disagree, I'll punch you in your fucking face, dude.
God, this is going to be bad, man.
Why?
Some kid in a suit and suspenders is going to try to attack you.
Oh, yeah, some better Gucci vest.
Yeah, some like, yeah. Next time you see a vest in the streets, man.
I don't go to Midtown, dude.
Oh, man. I don't know, man.
But why? What's your take on the Indian Republican?
I mean, yeah, it's survivorship. But I think a lot of these uncles, too, like, they don't really impart a lot of, like, especially if your families, if your parents are immigrants, they don't really know shit about the country they're coming to.
Right.
They know that there's money here, there's a better life. But they don't know what fucking emoluments is. They don't know that word.
I don't know that word.
Exactly. I don't even know that word. I'm fucking
emoluments clause.
The emoluments clause, but they don't know shit about like
put it on the bottom.
Yeah. The social contract of living and shit. Mm-hmm. My parents didn't give a shit. They were just trying to survive. Right. So like the one thing, but you know what? Like if you're South Asian, your parents probably had a good, nice run these last 30 years. Like your family made some money. Like you have an estate. On some level, not everybody. A lot of people are balling.
A lot of people don't.
A lot of people are balling, but a lot of people are not, and it depends on when you got here. The earlier you got here, the more likelihood your outcome is. Well, that's because
the people that got here early were people who had means back then in India to come here early, and get set up relatively early. I'm not speaking for all of them. I know I'm sure there's a ton of people again that fall into the holes that got into the engine compartments and they crash. Like we don't see those people, but the people that made it and got here early who were like software engineers or studied to be something high end back in India, but didn't have the opportunity because the Indian government was too short-sighted back after, the British left to make jobs available. They educated all these Indian people, but they didn't have any jobs with Indian people. So like 2 generations of people, Asian American Exclusion Act got lifted. Those people were here ready to take that bumblefuck PhD job in Alabama and then buy a motel and then invite their cousins and all that. But not all of them became super
definitely
successful.
not all of them, man. A lot of people, a lot of South Asian Americans didn't make it. A lot of them who came in like in the mid 90s in New York, the late 90s, they got crushed by like the .com bust, because there are a bunch of recessions coming in here.
Right.
So just by virtue of the fact you coming in around when Ronald Reagan and Bill Clinton were president, and the Bush in the between, like life is good, man. Life is good. And they don't the community doesn't even see it that way. Like if you're you could be a chemical engineer coming from India right now, and your outcomes are going to be, it's impossible to find a job right now.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the labor market.
But it's not that I'm saying it was easier back then. It's just like the country was in a different place. It was like growth. It like made sense. And like, I don't know, like it's survivorship bias for sure. But then also like, I feel like people right now are just kind of clutching their pearls and trying to pull the ladder up because there's a lot of fear. And that's why this conservative shit plays so much, right? Because like a lot of people in India, they saw a country never really get off the ground and they came here.
Right.
So now they're like, all right, this shit's happening here. I'm going to get mine. It's still nice to be rich.
Oh, yeah, for sure. There's also these single issue voters who, some of them I understand. I have a friend who's a single issue voter, and his single issue is whoever is anti-military in terms of cutting military spending is who I want in office.
That they cut the military spending?
Yeah.
Okay. That's like nobody.
Yeah, I'm pro that as well. If you find me because military spending is such a huge portion of our GDP, that if we spent that on, 10% of it on healthcare, we'd probably be like the healthiest, most robust people on the planet. But of course, we got to kill brown people. So why would we do that? So yeah, I mean, I don't know where the Indian Republican stands now. I'm only, my sample size is a few of my cousins and a few of those rich ass uncles that I talk to. And then I got, I got some rich ass uncles too, who are, again, just anti-tax. And then I wonder if they get like brainwashed into just buying into all the other stuff because they need to, be fully on board with this team.
I've only met a couple of those. And if they were like South Asian, they were like, weird, like one-off Long Island townies. You know what I mean? Who just like, if you close your eyes, you would not know that it was a person of color talking to you kind of thing. Like just real, like hard Long Island, like Trump, MAGA stuff, just because like they need to fit in and they're wrapped up into the whole, the
culture.
whole thing, the culture of it. Yeah. Like having truck nuts.
Right.
And wearing the fucking hats and all that shit. And
yeah, I get DMs from dudes, like, and only dudes. Ladies, please holler at me, man. Don't say hi. It's all just dudes, jacked ass dudes.
Yeah.
Like anytime I post anything moderately political, even if it's like right down the center. I got one. It was I only saw his avatar because most of them are cowards and don't have public Instagram pages. You bitch ass dudes. You want to talk shit.
Bots.
Yeah, you want to talk shit. You want to talk shit. Send your LinkedIn profile and see what happens. See, I will ruin your life happily, you fucking cowards. Anyway, so
It's a Russian bots that got you riled up. You're like, you motherfuckers. I'll go ahead and some kid named Boris in a basement.
I'm not riled up. I just find it very comical. I find it very comical. All these like allegedly tough dudes like want to DM and they're like, it's them in like the gym, their avatar.
Yeah, they're always in the fucking,
in like a tank top and it's
always
like
having a pump.
Yeah, Kamo's gonna lose, bitty. I'm like, bro, shut the fuck up. I'll slap the shit out you.
No, that's definitely a bot. Because like that whole, I mean, the male culture is dominated by that shit now. So it's kind of like,
What?
Yeah, I don't see it being like a specifically like a Desi thing, but in general, like young, not even young, like male culture, like working out, getting after it, sports.
Yeah.
It's all like it can like subconsciously guide you towards that like right wing shit. The alpha male shit,
Right.
that narrative, that bullshit, you know what I mean?
I
Like,
can't think of anything less alpha male than listening to another man telling you how to live your life.
that's all they do though. These people tell you how to, when to wake up.
Right. Wake up, take a cold plunge. Make sure your balls are still there.
Yeah, wipe your ass from back to front, otherwise you're gay, like shit like that. And it's like, and then now there's this whole other new thing where they add science to it. You know what I mean? And it's all these Latin terms and shit, and you're like, yo, what, like,
Well,
my piriformis, what the fuck? Like, what
neuropsychology of waking up at 5:34 a.m. You see, that's when your testosterone peaks and you are your straightest. So wake up at 5:34, have 17 eggs. If you have anything more or anything less, you are a homosexual.
Living the optimal life and shit. And you know what? Like, I get it.
Some of it makes sense.
A lot of people are in a jam and like you don't really learn how to live life, and all these guys are like, you know, fucking sunbathe your balls and that you'll get a promotion, and that shit works. Like, that shit works.
Sunbathe your balls, you'll get a new job.
Yeah, exactly. You'll be a VP in no time, and they fucking do that shit.
We should start a fake LinkedIn profile of like a guy who just shares articles about like how to get better, and then everyone else we just use our other LinkedIn profiles to like that.
Yeah.
Woke up
Just
this
have a
morning,
racket.
bleached my ass.
Crush that conference call.
The best way to run VLOOKUPs is naked.
In a sauna, just fucking beating sweat.
Yeah. All that alpha. It's funny, but it makes perfect sense how aligned the right wing trajectory and alpha male dumb is, like seeking being the ultimate male and all the right wing kind of, because I feel like quote unquote left wing ideology is, for lack of a better term, being soft on people.
Sure.
Like affirmative action is a perfect kind of soft stance where it's like you believe that this country, and this is my take, and this is what I think, this country owes a debt to people that it needs to pay dividends to one way or the other.
Sure.
Right? And those people are oppressed minorities. I think, affirmative action should be run by class and by economic status. But just so happens that a lot of those people are people of color, blacks and Latinos. And it's soft, so to speak, to be like, no, they need a break. We need to pay our reparations, so to speak. And the right-wing mentality is like, tough shit. Everyone's got to do it on their own. Everyone's got to make it on their own. Cut it how you can. And it's somehow weaker, softer to offer a hand or lend assistance to somebody, which is the stupidest shit I've ever heard.
I mean, people just don't want to admit that none of us are really shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, we're human beings. We're like grains of sand out here, man. And like, our fate is tied to like our institutions more than people think. You know what I mean? That's like with the Indian uncle that comes here in like 75, right? Mm-hmm. Who's a mechanical engineer who could get a job at Ford. Like, Ford had to be looking for engineers that desperately to take your brown ass.
Right.
Because that's what happened.
That's really what happened. Yeah.
Right. And like, there's all this like politics and society around that shit.
That's a great point. So after the Asian American Exclusion Act was only lifted because World War II happened, and all the people that were supposed to become like engineers and whatever got by another white guy, Hitler, Stalin, etc.
Yeah, they got
fucking killed. And so there was, when they went, they were like 16, 15, 18, 19, 20 years old. 10 years, 15 years later, when they're supposed to be in the workforce, middle management, CEO types, India, 20 years after independence, had spent all this money to educate its population because that's what they got all this money from England to do that, from what I understand. But they didn't create any jobs. Opportunity meets preparation. Everyone got on a plane. Air India, bunch of people pissing on stewardess on that plane for sure. Came over, boom, bada bing, bada boom. You have Satya Nadella, you have Sundar Pichai, you have every other Indian software engineer, doctor, motelier, everything else under the sea because of that, because of those institutions, and because opportunity hit preparation, and America was not prepared to give the whites the opportunity that these people were prepared to take. That's all that happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
Facts. Look it up.
Because like a lot of the veterans too, the GI Bill, like some of them it worked out for them, but like, you know, veterans got all fucked up and shit, and they weren't able to even take advantage of
soft. So that's soft. That's what I'm saying, is that the right wing mentality is to call that position of wanting to help people soft. It's so obscene how that's been alpha mailed and how that's been turned in this country, where anything that's seen as giving someone else a little humanity is fucking soft, it's gay, you are a weak person, and you deserve to be a second-class citizen. Isn't that crazy?
It's crazy because there's so many like extractive institutions in our world that like just take money from people. Like fucking payday loans and shit, and like Wall Street shit, you know what I mean? Where they're private equity, where they're just fucking just running the common man's shit every day, finessing the block day in, day out. And that's really the problem, but like nobody ever fucking talks about that.
But the payday loan is such a good Republican scam. All the payday loan guys are Republican dudes.
Yeah.
Fact. All the people that are jacking the working man, definitely right wing. And everyone wants to be that hustle culture. That's the guy waking up at 5 o'clock doing a cold plunge, wiping his ass back to front.
Nah, bro. None of those guys do any of that shit. Those guys wake up with like a heartburn and shit.
Yeah.
And they get like, they'll get on the Stairmaster for like 5 minutes. Take like a 30-minute shit, you know, and then like, you know what I mean? Like, they have gout and shit.
Yeah, tell their wife to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, like, exactly. Fucking get chauffeured in like a town car still, you know, in 2024 to like a fucking, their office. They'll do like a hot, like 6 hours of work, and that's the alpha male. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're not fucking doing push-ups and using kettlebells and fucking doing jujitsu. Like, they're not doing any of that shit.
Right.
That's all a fucking fantasy. Those guys are just... like, they just have power. They don't need to do cold plunges.
Right. But those are the ones that are what a lot of these people aspire to be like. But if they knew that those are like just pure evil incarnate people, I don't know if they would aspire to be like that.
So I knew a guy, right? This is a white dude.
Mm-hmm.
This is a true story. He was a beekeeper in like the Mexico-California border, like south of San Diego, because... some I think it was like an almond farm or some shit in Arizona. They pay you, and you have like, you're a beekeeper, and then you keep these bees so they pollinate those trees for the almonds or whatever they were growing in Arizona, right?
Okay. And
it was a sick job. It pays a shitload of money to be a beekeeper. It used to, right? And this guy's a hard-body Trump Republican guy, and the reason is his boss was another white guy. Brought in like 5 or 6 illegal Mexican workers, and he slowly trained them. And his boss was like, no, they're going to join us. They're going to help out. We're going to grow the operation. And as soon as they got trained, he got let go. And he started blaming the Mexicans. And I was like, bro, do you not see that it wasn't the Mexican guy's fault?
Right. No, they don't. They don't see it. That's like the joke 2015, 2016. It's like, people blame immigrants for stealing the jobs. Who gave them the jobs?
Yeah.
You know? But no one wants to blame their uncle. No one's like, hey, Uncle Jim, why'd you hire Jose? You should have kept me working. They just blame Jose.
Yeah. Who then gets thrown out.
Jose needs to work too.
Yeah, and they have nothing, man. If they get like locked up, get caught, that's it.
Yeah, back to Mexico.
Yeah, you're out. They don't fucking stay. That's not a good life.
But yeah, I don't know how whatever right-wing messaging is, it's
effective, man.
Yeah, it's good.
It's fucking good.
Shout out to the marketing engine. It's some strong shit.
I don't even think they have to do much, man.
No, it's light work. You just tap in, because everyone's a little racist. Everyone's got a little racist tendency, and you just got to tap into that and turn it into action, and boom, you got red hats that say "Make America Great Again."
Yeah, I mean, everybody has like stereotypes of everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a natural thing, I guess. I wasn't sure if that's what people say. It's natural to have stereotypes. I'm like, is it really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I don't know. We're gonna have to have a producer look into that. I feel like it's natural to have stereotypes because it's like what you're around is what you observe, and you turn behaviors into patterns, and that's a stereotype, right?
Yeah, but it's like,
So it's just an easy way to codify something.
you grow up and like, for example, like if you think of an East Asian person, like that diaspora is massive.
Mm-hmm.
There's like, there's so many countries, so many different cultures there. And then in terms of people that come here,
Mm-hmm.
they're all mixed, spread out. Like, I don't think you could really, there are some stereotypes that people have that are old, but I think as more immigrants come to this country, it's more diverse. It just doesn't make sense. And you like,
oh, you mean like Curry and call center?
yeah, Korean call center, like, all right, like,
Laura Loomer.
like,
Where's she from? Where's Laura Loomer from? Where did she get her stereotypes from? She looks like Jigsaw. Laura Loomer, man, looks like Jigsaw. Talks like she has.
I have not heard this woman's voice, thank God.
No, she has CTE for sure. She's got Tua's brain.
Arizona. Born in Arizona.
Yeah, that
Laura's
makes
from
sense.
Arizona. Okay, Laura Loomer, banging Trump. Good for you.
It's gross.
Good for you. Hope that sweat on your face is worth it. She's probably pissing on him.
That is gross.
Laura. What else we got to talk about?
We talk about the debate.
The debate. Oh, Kamala and Trump.
Yeah.
She wiped the floor with that dude.
See, here's the thing. Like, I did not watch it.
I don't know how he knew that I was eating cats and dogs.
You were in Springfield?
I was in Springfield, Ohio.
On tour.
Look, he caught me, man. I'm sorry for blaming the Haitians. It was me and Will Sylvans. We went out to Springfield. Look, it's just, man, life is boring sometimes. You got to go to Ohio, chase a cat.
Every Haitian in America was like, why you say fuck me for?
Why you do that?
What? Pourquoi?
French. Cocker spaniel.
What? It's the weirdest shit, man. And I mean, I don't know. The thing is, I can't watch Trump. I honestly cannot watch him like live on TV. Like, I don't get it. You watch that shit for 30 seconds and you're like, how do 44% of Americans think,
it was
vote for this guy?
It was the first debate I watched from start to finish. Like, since he became 2015, like since that. I think maybe I watched the first Hillary one or something. But this one I was like, okay, let's see what happens. And Kamala didn't do so great, in my opinion. She just didn't do poorly relative to, I mean, Donald shat the bed like 14 times. He probably does that with Laura. I think she's into it. Don't quote me on this. Laura Loomer enjoys Donald Trump shitting in bed. Put that on the internet.
I don't know. I mean, I feel for anybody that has to like debate him or just be around him, because it's like, we're like, like if someone that was in a fucking coma for 10 years woke up and was like, explain this whole Donald Trump thing to me, like, I couldn't do that. I was like, I don't even know where I would start. Like, I don't even know how to, like, there's so many things. He's so weird.
He made a bet that he could become president, and then he won the bet, and now he's trying to double down. And he didn't leave when he was hot. Came back with a new set of chips, and he's just going again. What is it? What else does he have to do? This is what retirement looks like when you're fucking a billionaire.
Yeah, but like Republicans, they couldn't get like a face guy. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Just like, they're represent all like money, right? Like that's their whole thing. It's just money. There's nothing else there. All the other shit's a lie. The Christian shit, that's fake.
Donald Trump, least Christian man in America.
Like, but one of the 10 commandments is thou shalt not bear false witness. That's like the mild one.
What's that mean?
Just don't lie.
Don't lie. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, Donnie's been lying. Yeah, I mean it's not a Christian thing.
It's not a Christian thing. It's just a money thing, and they could have got like a face guy. You know what I mean? Get like a nice,
It's so funny. It's odd to think of a guy who's worth $3 to $12 billion, depending on how bullshit pump and dump his Truth Social stock goes. But
people bought that shit.
Yeah, crazy. But how anyone could think that guy is populist, how that guy has any sort of even inkling of what the common man is like. And it's crazy that the common man thinks that they will be billionaires. And that's what it feels like. That he sold them this dream that if you vote for me,
the alpha males are going to take over the world.
You too can become rich and successful. And the reason you're not rich and successful is because all these immigrants and all these pro, quote unquote, woke, quote unquote, soft policies have kept you down. It's like, first of all, you're not going to be a billionaire. LeBron James just became a billionaire like 3 days ago.
Yeah.
Beyonce just became a billionaire. You know, you're not, just lose the fantasy. Second of all, and more importantly, it's like no billionaire cares about you or anything that you have going on.
No.
And it's not because of immigrants. It's not because of any other kind of woke ideologies, because you just didn't try hard enough in school. And now you're trying to make up for that. That's how we should end. Stay in school. What's that? We're 37 minutes. No, we should end on that. But
now we're back to the Indian uncles. Why?
Mm-hmm.
I also, you know what? This is the last thought I have about this topic at Indian uncles in this cold plunge shit, just to bring it all together. I like, I've met a bunch of these uncles, right, who have like mad gas stations, mad business. They're fucking rolling in money.
Right.
And like, when you talk to these guys, man, these motherfuckers are like barely conscious. I'm like, dude, what? I was like, what was your like little recipe here for success to like come here with no money and giving? And they just like, there's nothing there. There's no cold plunges. There's no lifting weights.
Open your eyes. Go to work.
Yeah.
Ignore your family.
Completely.
Black out on the drive home. That's it. That's all it is. But on the flip side of it, there are people who are super successful, rich ass Indian uncles and their kin who are very aware and grateful.
They're astute. There are definitely
why they're successful, what they owe this country, what they feel like they should contribute to society, and how they can further help other people in this battle against the government. It feels like we're battling government and corporations.
I don't even think we're battling government. I think we're battling like really just like it is corporations, but it's also this like we have this like human, like our American culture, we worship fucking successful people.
Yeah.
And we don't really think about what that means or what makes that person successful. Like, for example, all these like CEOs that write books and shit, like they don't, not that we have any of them here. We don't.
Mamba mentality. We got that one.
Yeah. Like, but it's like, you didn't make your fucking company. Like your customers made your fucking company. Like those are the people that made you rich. People buying your shit. And like, you were really like you just take all the credit. You write the fucking book. But like, then that's what people know. Like this, like really weird. Like we just have this, like I feel like the average American, if they let go of that shit, then America's really hopeless. Like
if they let go of,
like that average Trumper's gotta feel like he's gonna make it.
Yeah, 100%. And that they didn't make it because of all this other stuff.
Yeah,
external
it's
stuff.
them. Like it's their will, their force of will. It's nobody else. Like that's the vibe. Like if they don't have that vibe, then they're just fucking like,
Yeah.
That's why they'll go to war with you.
I think we solved politics.
I think we did.
Yeah, we solved it.
I think, just be kind to your local alpha male.
Gay. Hey, man. Touches.
Yeah, it's like nice biceps, man.
Steroid ass shoulders. All the bumps. Hey, brother. Hey, just keep at it, man.
Yeah,
you got this.
Show these people some love, man. They're hurting out there.
Yeah, don't worry about going to college and paying attention in school, beat the shit out of your local immigrant before he eats your dog. Okay? That's how you become successful in this country.
I love you, Haiti.
this is for Haiti.
This is for Haiti.
Yeah.
I don't know where they stand on Wyclef anymore. I'm not going to bring a Wyclef up at all.
Yeah, we saved that for the Patreon. Wyclef will choke a motherfucker.
Yeah.
What else you got? What's going on? What do you got this week? Are you doing any shows?
Me, the Grand Promenade inside Grand Central Station, where I'll be ranting on a box.
You can see Asif at the Times Square 7-stop telling people go Mets.
Yeah, and calling people robots.
Yes. You'll see me on the streets, maybe at the gym. Please don't ask me to punch you in the face because I'm bored, man. It might happen. But yeah, no, I'm not on the road, so we'll be doing this quite often until the road comes back. Until like, what if next week I come back on with this big black?
I am very sympathetic towards the cause of conservatives in this country.
Sorry, Rushab. Sorry, Rushab, for calling you a Ramaswamy to your face. I got nothing else. What? Oh, we should talk briefly about this, and this will pose as how much time we got?
We're at 42.
2 minutes, 3 minutes.
3 minutes, but you could do whatever happened.
No, we'll just keep this entirely for the streets. This happened. We were high on the stoop last week upstairs, and a woman, white lady walking a dog. Race is kind of irrelevant, but maybe not. She's walking a dog. She drops a bag of shit in front of us, and then keeps walking. And we're both high, and we're like, "Did she just drop a bag of shit in front of them?" And we yelled out, "Yo!" And she pretended not to hear us. What do you do in that situation? What do you do?
I mean, she had Bose headphones. I didn't know the noise canceling on those Bose in-ear headphones were that wild.
She does not hear brown people.
Yeah, she just it was bold. It was actually pretty smooth too.
Yeah, it was smooth.
It was very practiced.
Yeah, we were both like so high. Like, was that bag there the whole time? I don't know. And like, we didn't say anything after yelling out "yo" because maybe that's how she gets off. Maybe she needs to.
It's Dennis Reynolds. She's getting off.
Yeah, she's just at home like, "Oh yeah, drop that bag of shit from those brown dudes." Who knows? We don't know. What would you do? Tell us in the comments. We didn't do anything. We just sat there, kept getting high because it was a good day otherwise.
Yeah. Also, nobody wants to touch a bag of shit.
Yeah, who's touching a bag? People have said. Asked that on stage. Be like, "I would have grabbed the shit." Would you have? You would have grabbed a bag of shit. Gucci Turban, we'll be back next week if we don't get punched in the face and or cease and desisted by Gucci. That's Asif. I'm Nimesh. This is the only podcast where we're both on. Peace.